of multiple winners. Ronnie O'Sullivan looking for history.
Well, a lot of people wanted. So exciting, with the most exciting play.
The match with Higgins was an absolute battle.
Brilliant.
The last few years as tournament favourite, not this year.
Another good pot, and nicely on the black. Yeah, what that seven. Now, is he on anything? I don't think so. At first glance.
To the final. Jimmy and Alan, the way he's been preparing, he's done everything right.
Yes, Ronnie left him a chance to play the safety. He couldn't play that shot. Well, another mistake. How did he get the cue ball there?
It's not the worst position to be in. So much talk about O'Sullivan and the history.
Can't afford to miss when you're in, though.
The other thing, Joe, I always think when they bring that trophy out, which of course they do for the final.
Yeah, one player's got his name on it once.
Tournament, Trump is rated 82% on safety, O'Sullivan 78. On potting, O'Sullivan 94, Trump 89.
Didn't he play it well? He played it superbly. Well, it's always going to be somebody good, isn't it, in the final? So, made for him, that plant. But now this is an excellent chance to take this opening frame.
5.
At the Welsh Open, Trump was just 8 years of age of chances, and this is definitely one. They got in with the great plant. Pink was... They play 17 frames today, so someone... in town anyway. Got in with the plant, and it looks like
a confident shot.
Last time he was here, when he was in session against John Higgins, where it was like an X2011. Anyway, he's on the board. I
love these facts, David. A really good shot to make the century. Trying to get in behind the red, just a little heavy. So, chance for Ronnie O'Sullivan at last. The Reds open in a controlled way.
1. Nine.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Great. Another great recovery shot. Played it. Just like that.
40.
And we manoeuvres that cue ball. The early frames.
Here we saw the plant in the last frame, and O'Sullivan.
That should make sure.
So he can equal that. But more significantly, if he makes one, 99 for this championship.
Oh, great pot again.
$93.
Time at the Crucible. And he's
99.
unbelievable.
108.
And we know there'll be more. That's the other thing. Plenty more.
111. 115.
You always wonder, looked confident in the first frame when he got that second chance, and O'Sullivan has looked sublime here.
120.
And there was only 2 reds out at the beginning.
Break ends at 120.
Well, that's brought the black into play. And no, can he cue it? I think the main thing there is good pot again. What a mood he's in.
12.
Didn't work out unless...
20.
For not finishing the right side of the blue.
$45. 53.
Well, so far, starting to play. Thought so, the way he played it.
61.
Not this time.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And we still have a link, don't we, back 40 years since Alex Higgins.
The brown after it. That was the last red next to the pink.
1.
Had to pop.
1. 7.
As you say, the gentleman from Trump. Yeah, because he could miss the ball like he did. And if it is replaced. And that's what he was trying to do the first time, and he could see it, reluctant. So
I thought Trump was good there, actually, because he could have just stayed out of it. Said, you sort of...
Yeah, it is a good job, though. He asked Trump. And he's left one at the edge of the pack there.
One.
Well, that changes it.
Oh, that's opened things up. Yeah, good shot. Well, took the more
13.
difficult red. Needs to slow down. No. What's the damage? Did well. He did really well.
2 in frame 1.
Straight red to the right corner. Oh, what a fancy way to get round to the reds.
$34.
And this low red.
39.
Running into the other red.
36.
But it's okay. Listen, we're greedy people, the hurdles. And he's not quite...
B.
1.
Doesn't need the black.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
No, that wasn't.
Because
And the brown. Very close. Now, the other no-no was leaving a free ball.
Foul.
And that was a really... Well, he's going to come back to the table. He's pushed it towards the corner. Well, he gave it.
Duke has been got already in the balance. Trump
More chance of that. It's not far away. Neither is the white.
Just shave the knuckle.
Will he get another chance? That cue ball needs to slow down.
3.
They're really good shot.
12.
Incredible, and the Ronnie O'Sullivan gets the final underway again. In a strong position already, 3-1. He's played really well. He's had a century, a 68, and then one.
And he's pushed a red towards that corner. Fourth frame. Needs to get back down for the blue. Lots of right hand side on the cue ball. It was difficult.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 18.
He's some way off, isn't he?
Which Mark Williams did and still took it to a final frame.
Thank you.
Just not happening for Trump at the moment. Savings. To the Reds. Containing safety. Played it well.
The World Final, every frame's important, but it does feel significant this frame in terms of Trump just trying to...
Shot. O'Sullivan. And this time it goes in. Doesn't want to finish up behind the black. He can.
But it's
good recovery. At the next red. No. Never easy.
Trump, 13. 1.
Hasn't gone far enough.
8.
And he's on one.
Lord there, they weren't sure if he was on it, but
12.
he is, so...
19. 25.
Again, just knocked it in.
31.
Strange that. He now needs this red.
It's important not to get carried away. We've only... So Judd Trump gets the 6th of the 8 frames They will play here this afternoon underway. He's trailing 4-1.
Well, that safety shot went wrong. Sullivan not in the mood for missing.
1. Six.
With a cue ball. That's what makes things so easy.
14.
Stun. Well, and there's the answer.
22.
He's got all the knowledge.
26.
Next. And that's the secret.
32. $39. 47.
It was a poor safety from Trump.
$53. 60. 68.
Weren't open.
75. 83.
Century in the World Championship, that's including 3 made in qualifying.
91.
Makes one here, it'll be a personal best. The record is 16 centuries for a tour. The way O'Sullivan's going
98.
though, he's going to break it in this match. He is fully on top.
What a shame.
105. Foul.
105
Yes,
from
105.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, that's more like it. With that kiss, what did it? Comes back onto its spot, and the red is covering
Trump 1.
the black. So, played. Well, that was a good chance to get.
Heaviest ever defeat inflicted at this venue. That would have seemed unlikely, even with Davis's great record, to
Pushed right to that right corner, but he's got a good kick. Those aren't the kind of odds that you like, but look at that first.
9. 16. 23.
usually from about the Masters
30.
in January, people are... Now, Judd Trump has won 2 titles, which little. But as I say, it doesn't
37.
matter if he comes good here.
$44.
Looking for a good kiss. Stay on the black, but no need to play it.
51.
This won't be it, but he can still get...
Didn't want the kiss,
58.
and that's left him.
In goes the pink.
Yeah, that's a brave shot. That's a great shot.
And this is the result of that. They're watching their son in the World Championship.
Yeah, he's took it so well, hasn't he? And put them to the final.
And they have paid their money, and they want to, with a big frame
83.
still to come this afternoon.
And finally, that fourth frame out of his mind.
90.
O'Sullivan's made today. These two are going to break. But maybe not.
97.
Oh, so close. But it was a great breaking. So the last frame of the first session of the 2022 World Snooker Championship final. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads Judd Trump.
Right in the middle of the pocket. He wants that cue ball. Great effort to split the reds. Yeah, great shot. Terrific shot. And look where he's put the cue ball.
Oh dear.
Judd Trump.
Well, that was visions of the Alex Higgins blue.
Just a sense here that
to create the path, but when it's close to the cushion like that, you can't do it. Yeah, that was the problem. Cue ball was going in.
1.
And that's how to get rid of frustration. What a pot. What a terrific pot.
Twenty-one.
well, what we've seen.
20.
Will he get another chance? Hasn't worked out. We'll play the safety.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 41.
Yeah, he looked at the plant. It wasn't far away. Mustn't catch them thick.
Foul and a miss.
And that was the danger, isn't it?
Miss.
Catching it too thick.
Judd Trump, 6.
He's got it. He needs that cue ball to come out of ball. It's a difficult clearance for sure with the black tap. Shot.
12.
Overdone it.
Nineteen.
I think that's a more valuable.
To end proceedings.
And played it well. He played it well. So that's a free ball. No. He certainly does. Yeah, well played. Well played.
5.
Judd Trump, though, he showed no fear. He's not gone into... He needs the blue. Spin of high quality. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Trump, remember, leads the overall head-to-head. 13 wins to 12. That was nearly a decade ago. That's not 5-1, including 2 centuries, equaling Stephen Hendry's.
15.
It would be even better. And now pocket slightly.
It is 89. Currently down.
32-0 down in this one.
17. 25.
'Well, more than a nudge. Long pot by so far. Being given a reprieve, and if he can do what...
40.
Top frame ball, and in the end, of course, lost it on a respot.
55.
He needs 2 more reds, basically.
Knows he's let Trump off here, and it looks as though he's going to be punting himself for a 6-3 deficit when he missed the red and scattered them and left O'Sullivan the chance.
More shot to do here. No, he's not getting close to those long-range shots, but even then...
Trump's miss now.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Still 1 snooker needed for O'Sullivan.
Yes, of course, when he won the... you don't think about it.
Danger early on in O'Sullivan's favour, winning on the respot. Trump to win because it looked as though he'd done untold damage when he missed the red at the start of the frame.
So here's another one at range. Well, that was better. That was an improvement on the other 2, and ultimately the frame is won.
Trump would have been looking for, and to win it having even more of a boost.
9. 16.
'High up the final.
Foul.
Who first?
Judd Trump 5. Thank you.
was seemingly fairly regulation, that yellow.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
The average frame time at the moment is 17.51, 17 minutes, 51 seconds, but of course that doesn't include the re-racks we've had.
Was there
Re-established control of this final, having been 5-1 up.
1.
Many people regard him as 17-4 on one occasion.
16.
frame?
24. 30. 40. 59.
And it should be 6-4. So he could do with this in. Huh? Frame is surely done.
1.
Lead, which is perfect etiquette in this game. Sean Murphy is famous for it.
$17.
Because we've got an
25.
odd number of frames in this.
28. 32. 37.
So the first two frames to one fold, not least because of the re-racks, but
43.
they've been split in getting to the final, but he's going to have to play his best, surely, if he's to get the better of Ronnie O'Sullivan over 35 frames. 2 centuries from O'Sullivan. Of course, Trump made 97. We'll be setting a new one with these two players, even though we've seen quite a bit of chaos. That's more like it from Trump. Post final, and that's because Trump was so good. But Higgins was also very good.
No.
It can be missed. And he has missed it.
1.
Trump, it could be compounded here if O'Sullivan can put something big together.
9.
And he's been
15.
operating around that time, and there's been plenty of evidence of that as he's moved through the rounds pretty serenely. It must describe O'Sullivan as lethal,
23.
as he was a single shot, it feels, throughout this championship, and it's paying dividends at the moment.
29.
Trump has had the better of him in their more recent meetings.
35.
Yes, O'Sullivan won to Trump 3 in a row in Northern Ireland, and of course he is bossing things.
43.
Played a good little.
Fifty-one.
And that's an authentic shot to play it in such a way that you...
Frame over for Trump.
57.
That was his 174. And just as moving away again, it seems.
65.
Final. O'Sullivan is doing what
71.
number 3 of the final. Previous tally of 13 by making his 14th this afternoon.
79.
Come and win his second world title, then he's going to... At the moment,
O'Sullivan has lost a couple of frames that he might have won,
93.
but it's looking good again.
96.
Thrown by for the Raw.
he did construct it well early. He got the Reds exactly where he wanted them. That's what...
Championship. More and more in control.
Now, top side. Oh, he ended up going into it completely.
On yourself.
Oh, he's made it. He is such a good... Remarkable comeback from Mark Williams from 7 down to then out to share this mini session.
Fifty.
The problem there was what happened there?
1.
Very aware that Trump is suffering a little bit at the moment. He's not playing as he can, pedal while he can, and build a big lead in this second session.
15. $21.
Yeah.
Hard.
20. $33.
He's getting a few chances, not loads, but
Forward than the one in the previous frame, the thin cut along the rail. Hooker.
Trump needs to come out and have a good remaining sight.
At the interval, that is a handsome lead. Trump was able to fight back by winning 3 on the bounce then, and he's going to have to do something for the 15-minute or so break, because at the moment he's being outplayed in every department that he just can't afford to with Trump. With O'Sullivan, our championship, he's had his eyes on the prize, the record equaling form, and that focus in the early stages of this world final.
Didn't he, Alan McManus? He said that O'Sullivan is capable of the last 2 or 3.
All of that could change, of course, in what remains of the evening. 5 more frames to come.
I mean, no, it's not a... you feel like that, and Judd's got to do something this evening.
Yes, the one final that O'Sullivan lost in 20... Missed them all together there.
And it's obviously he's 4 frames down, but like I say, if they could just break now for the night.
1.
Just about wriggled it in.
9. Seventeen.
Well, that's a great shot to finish. Now he's protecting the middle bunch, though. Let's see what happens here.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 26.
Another mistake from Trump, who's only scored third.
We know he did against Mark Williams and get a bit of a hangover to that. And that's the World Championships for you.
O'Sullivan never seriously threatened in any round. Twice behind right at the beginning.
5.
We see. Next best.
Close to unassailable from this position that he's engineered for himself. 4 clear, 5 more to play. But in all other departments, O'Sullivan is in charge. Hot success of 90.
See more than an edge, but I watched it. It got very close to it.
It's not just the standard of his snooker that has stood out.
And the extra bit of pace
To get away from him. Immediately off his shot, very nearly fluked the red, but
he gets in from like unlikely positions.
1.
You know, they've played open.
his championship turned on that missed black by Stuart Bingham in the quarterfinals
7.
when he was unlikely. The lead for the first time to 5 frames,
21.
which means truly commanding, if not unassailable.
Beauty of any sport, but he really, another frame has gone here.
A while over it before he played it with pace to try and get position on the black, and then of course this frame winning break to tighten the screw.
42. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 42.
Didn't trouble the scorers in that frame, which means it's now
Meant to be very thin.
Foul on the miss.
He's potted one. It's nearly 27 minutes since the last one, but the nudge means it might only be one.
Shot ramp 1.
They're all over the place here. I was thinking it was possibly the one way.
yeah, that always feels Feels rather more one-sided than that, doesn't it, in terms of table time?
1.
Bottom red of the bunch, he could get on into the right corner here. It's a natural.
5.
7 in the final alone when he beat John Higgins.
Right.
Lower than it would normally be.
21.
People up and down the table. I had a bad feeling about that shot. Just got a glimpse of the way that Judd is feeling in his chair on that previous red that Ronnie potted. You know, he had it almost head in hand.
Again, it's gone wrong.
9.
Just putting in all these frames at this moment. We did say I kind of think the latter could happen.
7.
Don't worry about your own game. And that's a nice shot. Really nice. Played with screw and left down.
3 clear.
25.
And that's if Trump wins the... Sullivan just continuing to beat. So he's showing patience when
33.
things don't quite go to... or not. It's his opponents who've been
49.
frayed at the edges.
Well, the lead is 35, but that would be...
Put Judd Trump in trouble again. He went for the long red, missed it and caught one on the way down for O'Sullivan. And here's another frame-winning break. He at the Crucible during his run of 6 World
62.
Championships. He's built momentum, and there's nothing at the moment that Trump seems to be able to do to stem the
65.
tide. 2019 winner.
73
frames to come in this set. Otherwise he's going to have a seismic task on his hands. He's completely on top. I guess Trump has got to take some inspiration from Mark Williams, who of course was...
For John Higgins against Mark Selby. Mark Selby being the sort of warrior that he is, if you like, the hard-working player.
In that time, Ronnie O'Sullivan have made breaks of 50, 66, 118.
A good safety shot there. Right now that should Judd win frames, he's going to have to be left something.
He has had chances. Miss.
Straight on this black, quite where he played to finish. Hit that one well.
23.
It must be into the corner, looking at that. No, found a way up the table as well.
39.
So vital now, having played that. Still emerge from this second session in reasonable shape. If he can win this one, and the last two, only 3 behind, given a lot to do tomorrow when he'll hope he can play a lot better than he has so far. But first things first, win this frame.
Oh, a little bit, but it's worked out well. It's down the remaining, will go down by 8 points.
59.
Whole evening of snooker. We have sick. Yes, he's now going to do so.
Frame. He knows the frame, of course, long since won. Whenever you're facing 18 as the target to be crowned world champion. O'Sullivan, of course, going for number 7 to tie up Stephen Hendry's modern-day. For that one, finds its mark.
1.
End up on the side cushion and do what he did and leave him skew in the middle of the table.
750.
Yes, out of the camera shot that you can see, O'Sullivan was looking to the heavens there, shaking his head. This time. Previous 7 meetings,
9.
which was the prerequisite for Trump winning this World Championship. 9-4 up, and Trump took the match
70.
to a decider. So
I thought more than disappointed. It's very tough.
25. 31.
already 50 in front. It will be a major surprise if Trump doesn't find him.
Well, big area there too, landing behind with a couple of reds both.
47.
Nothing going his way. Ronnie O'Sullivan marching.
53.
Trump is going to need something Herculean on the second day.
O'Sullivan 60.
O'Sullivan will settle.
Yes, I agree that he needs to win this frame. It will sound a little less painful and overnight. It has really been done tonight, hasn't it?
Terrific pressure yellow. He needs plenty more like that. It's not
It's natural to come round for the black in putting it.
Nine. Five.
It's a nice recovery. Hopefully he didn't go off again. That would have been horrible. But even then, the cue ball.
A big shot this is.
Just concentrate on the pot and not try and do anything else.
One.
Now, this is another important moment.
Five.
Yeah.
10. $18.
Being.
34.
Yeah, recovered it on there from someone with a Sullivan's cue ball control. Very likely. And, well, he does need it. You know, he'll need all these three reds.
$47.
He's already wanted to colour with it, but he might not bother about that. So he will need... He's going to be on a colour anyway.
$59.
Ball. Started the evening 5-3 in front, Trump having and he won the first tonight.
66.
But since then, Ron first best in this match.
70.
Hurtful as any frame for Trump in first. That issue with the red and then the brown he missed, so he pumped them through the button beautifully.
The task for Judd Trump is clearly mountainous. Not just the fact that he's 7 frames adrift, but the fact that he's
Foul.
one up with 2 to play in the semis.
Pushed the red toward. And that's a much better safety shot. Very risky.
That's well below par.
1.
That is quite a golf.
No attempt at the pot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 16.
He didn't lack for chances in last night's session. He missed a couple of blacks, way more clinical. Scoring much the heavier of the two.
Well, that's another mistake. Couldn't see a way out of it. Tried to get that guy.
Guy.
Oh, that's caught the eye as well. Terrific pot. I'm not sure if he...
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Patience.
6.
But a World Championship final is a rather different proposition, isn't it? And of course, O'Sullivan won their only previous
the angles, but he caught the red. This looks a good safety. Paint chop. Better to miss the ball and catch it too thick. Yeah, and that was the danger, catching it a little bit too thick. Not just the pot, but threading that cue ball through the gap. Well played.
three.
An intended cannon though. That needs to pull in a little. try and make things simple. He knows how much it means, but he mustn't miss.
Sullivan had a good early chance in this frame, and then another one after that brilliant opening.
Normally he'd played into a spot where it's
47.
Ever seen going head to head in the biggest match on the calendar. It's not quite turned out that way so far, but who knows if frame. O'Sullivan has made 3 centuries. The essential start
65.
to this third session.
Seven. Didn't pay the price for that, O'Sullivan.
To suffer the ignominy of having this final finish with a session to spare against his boyhood.
Nine. 96.
Champion. 7 more in this session, of course. 18 the target.
Oh, no attempt.
Of course, O'Sullivan has been on the wrong end of a crucial year. Came out a different player on the final day, having limited the damage on the first.
Just wasn't prepared mentally. But today was a different day. Corner. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Find it. Choosing the ones near the black. Black. The black now free.
Foul. A miss.
So little of the red to go out there.
Missed the red completely. Yeah, the smallest of fractions there.
Though O'Sullivan's safeties have proved more productive in this match. But Trump is giving it everything, isn't it? 11 ranking titles in 2 campaigns, given the standard and strength and depth these days, is quite remarkable.
He's pushed a red to the corner. But he doesn't.
Yesterday, I guarantee you, he would have ended up buried in the red.
Yeah, he just caught it a little. Yeah, good pot. And that's what he's played. Trying. That's where he'd like to be.
One.
Trump has already the balls like that he's missed in this tournament.
but that one got in. Let him know that he's a different man today. That the difference.
41. $44.
Nearest the corner.
This break has been a bit of a trial. He hasn't always been in prime position, but he's had to today, has punished it. With barring snookers, a frame-winning break. 46 the difference, 35 on. So
One snooker with a free ball. And that. Another good shot.
Foul.
Yeah, it's a good point, that.
came off once and for all. Which he's done. Now then, things getting a little more interesting here. Absolutely had to in this session. Got to win it. That's 6-2. He would certainly be giving himself a chance coming back. Sullivan is to win this with a session to spare. He'll have to win the remaining 6 of this penalty.
12.
For a mistake. He's been on the wrong end of that throughout this final. This time, he's given a dose of medicine to Osuna. Trump made a frame-winning break. Way, what about that? Crazy! The next frame.
I quite like the blue he potted as well. What a way to get position.
But he's seen Trump come back at him, make a century, punish a mistake.
In fact, he potted some that we didn't even think was on. It has. And there's another good one. Needs a good kiss. He needs a good kiss.
Bounce, he did not miss from long range, and some of them were just outrageous.
6.
Good pot.
Yes, and
Through a shot. Oh, giving himself a chance of 2 reds there. And they look easy shots, but believe me, I've decided to go into them.
with his head in his hands after another miss, which let O'Sullivan in for a winning break. 3 out of 3 would be even better.
Do. Good recovery.
Worked pretty well for him, isn't it?
But it was his lack of... That's what he's attempting. He doesn't want to hit that red. Yes, and he keeps taking on.
Well played. Just rattling. Doing it here.
Well, so far.
26. $34.
As much so as he was last night.
45. 41.
He's still within 6 to within. We move into the later stages of this session. 8. One more frame to come before the next interval. Could Judd Trump possibly make it a clean sweep?
Honour. That little kiss didn't do him any favours.
In this session. Hideous in getting that cue ball cleaned on a very regular basis. Not that sometimes the object balls, all part of the focus and the concentration. O'Sullivan
On the black. Didn't go according to plan. And what about that? That is absolutely... He's played it. That's a shot. He plays so well for that loose one. Beside cushion.
under pressure. Feeling a whole lot better about what they're seeing in this session. Frame.
Cue power, look at the cue power.
One.
He's got one upward red to contend with.
9.
At one stage, narrowed today. Trump winning 3 in a row. And he was...
Well, twice, great angle on it. So he can manoeuvre the cue ball anyway.
13-8 and 12-9, potentially.
Yeah, and he's a man. This would be the ideal time to do it. 2 straight this time.
39.
Can't get to it from there. No, what a shot was played. Great shot. Great shot. And played that cue ball short.
And this has been impressive from O'Sullivan. Begin to pick his game up, begin to look more in the mood to get back into this final. And so he was under pressure. Needed to restore at the interval. Judd Trump has played penultimate session of the World Championship final. He was up pretty quickly off that break-off. Played as he... But
What?
the red eludes him.
What a let-off. What a let-off that was. To increase his potting powers. Little cutback. Not hard enough.
1.
He probably thought, I don't want...
The greatest player of all time by most people's estimation.
9.
You have to take...
15.
pot success for the match, which matches his tournament. And this is the point that O'Sullivan's level...
Yes, but that red, wait for it. That red...
Seven.
Wrong side of the blue at any time. No, played for it.
Thank you.
He's playing now.
26.
Yeah, but to play for that red near the cushion.
34.
Every break has been a bit of a trial, and there's another typical Trump shot, really, quintessential Trump.
42.
Swung well. He's got to hit this well. He's got to hit this well. Doesn't want the kiss. Oh, brilliant shot. Brilliant shot, and nicely on the pin. And that's another thing you want.
8.
And he's overdone that one.
He's got it. Cut back red. And that has been the tournament. And that's why the scoreline
23.
But what he really needs is to win it handsomely.
23.
3 more to come in this session. Trump will be targeting 2 of them. If he can win them,
Well, I do believe he had a go at that. Not enough.
his goal, of course, contrary to Trump's, is to make...
Nine.
And it's still too high. Now he's a left to red to the left middle. Now the last time he split the red.
7. $13. 21.
Your opponent is not allowing you. He's playing so well. Sure.
Eventually, it's going to take its toll. He can't keep knocking in these pressure...
That cue ball into a position to be nicely on it, and that's why he's played up for the blue. He needs it to run.
Or missed pots. O'Sullivan was clinical, ruthless, lethal, as Higgins put it.
And he's got it. Great recovery shot. That could be a frame one.
$13. 19.
Didn't like the black. What a brave shot.
$25.
Not this time.
Ronnie.
That cue ball turning to the left with the side on it. He's got the safety advantage at him. Cue ball is running on. How important this frame is.
Yes, because if Trump can win it, it means he's won this mini session already. Pressure again.
He's contained that safety, but he should be in big trouble next shot. Excellent. Excellent. The safety. And that could be a mistake if O'Sullivan can see it.
65%. And there's another one, and that could be very important.
He's a little heavy. He's a little heavy. Back to that red behind the black spot.
One.
And he's the right.
Eight.
Now that used all of
3-8. Even though on the face of it, Ronnie O'Sullivan is still well in
15.
control, but this frame...
18.
well from him.
22.
Made sure.
Pressure on his shoulders here.
27.
Played it well.
It's 5 clear. All things possible then in this increasingly compelling World Championship final. Judd Trump deserves a lot of credit for the guts and determination he showed to get back.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, and then he misses the black.
The ball's wide open. Now he's having to work for them. But that's a magnificent shot he's played there. And all the reds. Now, how's your luck?
So, Sullivan's going to hit one anyway.
Yeah, try and get him behind the brown. Well, that's called pushing the boat out. Pink goes. Place.
Eight. $14.
Edge one for O'Sullivan to
20.
recapture the form that has got him into Trump putting all his eggs into one basket with that long red, which he didn't get close to. And he's left the position in terms of his...
Yeah, and if he plays for the red just below the pink, well, mustn't go to blue again. And he's the wrong. Played it very well.
38.
And he's done it again. Did.
Teed, a 3-frame cushion going to the final session. It could yet be 5.
50.
At the moment that Judd Trump missed that long-range red.
Thank you.
moment ago. Won by 1 point.
Close to the double kiss. Now he's setting his tipper light. Just burning away those frayed edges that have been at times a disappointing session when your game isn't quite there, when your potting isn't quite as accurate as usual, when your positional play
Very, very unusual for O'Sullivan to miss.
Four.
Now decisions to made. And he's opened them up.
Every pot in this break, in this final frame, has taken 6 of the 8 against O'Sullivan.
16.
Decided to play it. Is he on one? Oh, what a kiss on the pink. Not that thin. Oh, wait for it. Well, it's certainly...
Now, though, that Trump makes the most of that good himself.
Down the table.
$32.
Landslide victory. Judd Trump, though,
Just put a bit of...
onto the well, and he's been rewarded. He's played way better when you're in the kind of predicament he was in, coming out this afternoon for a world final on our hands.
56.
Yeah, and every chance of finishing with a century.
But not only has he won it, throbbing come 7 o'clock tonight.
70.
Treat to start this session. Got off on the right foot. Took 3 of the first 4 before the interval. And it felt as though he'd
70.
possibly repelled the mini after the interval. And he's piling on the pressure.
This is the way to make your opponent feel it.
80.
Equaling 108th Crucible century to tie last year's tally.
87.
And of course looking to equal the modern day record of 7 world titles. 14-11 it is. O'Sullivan needs 4, Trump needs 7. Trump won the afternoon session 6-2 to put the pressure on.
He could have been, well, it could have been within a frame. You have to take the positives out of something, and that might have been the one that O'Sullivan will have thought about.
I think you always...
That's a really good shot. Well, as you can see, he's going into the reds. He's going to have to play to open them up a little bit. I mean, he's 3 behind. He's got a chance, but he still has not much leeway.
Shot around 12.
Got to keep Edge of that red on the right. Well, he bent it round. That's a beautiful shot. Swerved it.
I must say there was a great buzz just walking. Wonderful pot from O'Sullivan.
1.
He did play better. That was
7.
brilliant.
20.
To collect his thoughts and prepare.
40.
One good shot here, though. His touch and feel around the table. Follow up. And the frame's over any. That's frame ball.
He needed to settle back into match mode. He probably did great to look out for here.
74.
If he makes a century with Stephen Hendry and Mark Williams.
82.
What a shame.
When he won the UK Championship at the age of...
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot. That's Judd Trump at his very best when he knocks those in. And he lost in the amount of frames. Opportunity to get the cue ball around the angles here. Swing it wide. Big target with the bold colours.
These things happen. In a decider 20 years ago.
Shot from 4.
Yes, he was unlucky. And it was always a very dangerous. Trying to hit the bottom red here. It's the second cushion, it should be okay. Ah, what a shot. Well, some screw shot back to the bulk end and hope it would go for the best. He knew what he was doing there.
And centuries.
7.
Uh,
1. 9.
Trump, but the black, he's concerned, has thrown the...
24. 32.
Controlled.
48. 56.
Again, perfect. When he's playing well, he plays a series of That's the reason for it. It makes a difficult game look very easy.
Anyone wondering whether O'Sullivan would be feeling a little rocked by Ansett in the first two frames? No.
80.
What a great shame again, but
So we're underway in the next. We are on the last night. Ronnie O'Sullivan is bringing it on the last night.
hit it well again. And he's finished low as well, which means
7. 15.
Thank you.
very good one.
I was down in the media.
One.
Yeah, the red.
Thank you. Well, isn't that the story of the lucky breaks, I don't think.
For Trump, 8.
That's another fine shot from Trump.
Obviously, he's going to have to develop red soon. But not leaving World Championship, he wasn't even looking forward to coming here.
Red, I think he would. But I think the option is there.
Most of it. Cheering friend Ryan, Oliver Lyons is here, various other members of the crew keep him relaxed.
$35.
I guess the good thing is you can get the scores and the colour.
Clearly for Trump, trying to peg O'Sullivan back. He's huge. O'Sullivan's not playing in the World Championship final. Ronnie O'Sullivan, the man in front, breaking off in the last frame before the last interval of this championship. Because for snooker fans, this is
Well, he has played it, and he's got it. The safety attached to that shot, so he wouldn't have minded a nudge on the yellow.
Huge shot that. Huge shot.
So Trump 1.
But the brown stuff.
1.
Easy to roll into the side of the bunch from there. So he took a risk, didn't pay off. Find out how much it'll be costly soon.
9.
I guess it was worth a try.
Ronnie, 1. 9.
Slide off towards the corner pocket.
$20. 35.
And to Dave Gilbert in round 1. Both pockets, and he doesn't need too much more in the frame to move
43.
to within 1 of.
He's paid well tonight, hasn't he, O'Sullivan?
Theatre, and then it'll be the final act
59.
of this extraordinary taken by the man at the table, Ronnie O'Sullivan, who seemed to be drastically
66.
cut, but he's pulled away, won 3 of the first 4.
67.
He stepped it up again just when he had to. He's trailing 17-12, Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1 away from a record equaling 7th world title. I remember being here when he won his first in 2001. Another long one. Long Bottom's been very good tonight.
And he hasn't done that. Just a little flick on the green ball.
Seven.
What about that?
Yeah, it was O'Sullivan away from that table.
33.
It was a little straight, wasn't it, to get any...
No.
Yeah, at the
17.
moment it's
25. 33.
At the time.
47.
That was the one Trump won earlier.
You know, the longer the frames would be, the more drawn out, but it's not
53.
really the style of it.
But Trump really wishes he'd have started like this yesterday. Frame by frame, he's got to take it, but he's more than capable,
61.
we know, of...
$67. Seven.
A very high scoring frame.
87.
Chance to get
Just reflecting the high quality. Third century of the final. Judd Trump won the last one with 109 clearance, 17-13.
the biggest problem. Yeah, he couldn't.
The trophy they're playing for was presented to the first.
Well,
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
to take on. Well, if it was something that he saw
9.
last time, O'Sullivan felt there was a real
70.
He's done everything right in terms of preparation.
$23.
We've watched him all these years. Neil's
and thought, well, it just appears he's never going to achieve the great people because he's completely proved. There were many people that
45.
never believed he could be a 7-time.
What a moment, this 7th world title. He will win the championship with his 200th at the Crucible.
61.
May never be anyone like him again. Special focus right from the start of this tournament. He was pressed by Trump, who put